How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. In my previous video, I did talk about 3 weapons that I find to be the best, that I like the most. Now I figure it's time to go over 3 that I hate or I don't think are that good. Now, do keep in mind, this is my opinion. Your options obviously vary. This is by no means a tier list or like a fact or like anything like that. Just what I prefer, what I like, and I'll give you my reasons why. And, you know, as always, give me your reasons why you dislike a certain weapon, or if you agree or disagree. You know, I love to have the comments active, and I try to read them, and, you know, I just love to see your guys' input. So, it pains me to do this, but the third one on the list, which the lower the better, I guess, the blowguns are not a weapon that I like a lot or I use a lot. I like them in theory, like in practice, they sound really good. And I'm like, oh, it's a weapon that has like pretty much, you know, you got all different kinds of weapons that have all different kinds of debuffs on them, you know, and they're ranged, so, you know, they got a little bit of range, so you can apply them at a distance, which is always good for doing a debuff. And that's awesome, you know, and even their finishers, a lot of their finishers have elements in them, you know, so that's really good. But the issue is, while it can debuff, and the finishers are, you know, they're interesting finishers, it doesn't really deal any damage. Blowguns never really get more powerful. I think there's a couple higher end ones, but the majority of them deal like no damage to whatever you hit, which in my mind is a huge problem, especially later in the game. When you get access to blowguns at the beginning, it's not that big of a deal. You know, you can kind of run around, just debuff everything, you know, charm, sleep, you know, poison, whatever. Run around, zap people. But when you need to be hitting pretty hard too, it can be a pretty big wasted turn if all you're going to do is shoot somebody with a blowgun and throw poison on them, or, you know, try to stun them, or, you know, whatever. You know, I guess it depends, but maybe if you can get that charm off or that sleep off right away, that can be kind of useful. It just depends, and because they don't hit that hard, they don't keep up. Now, this next weapon, I don't know if any of my guys use it, and I think a lot of people don't use it from what I've seen. I mean, obviously there are some, everybody has a preference, but I found the one unit on my roster that uses it. I don't know why they have this equipped, but it's axes. I subconsciously never used them. I had them on Canopus for a little while, and then like I found a better weapon and I like swapped them off just without any kind of thought. And when I was looking at my units, I was looking at like weapons I was selling or something, and I had axes and nobody had like any equipped, and I was like, that's really odd. So I threw one on a Terror Knight, my secondary Terror Knight, not my main one. And I used it for a while, and I didn't really find it, whether it's a one-hand or a two-hand axe, I didn't really find it to be that great. I was pretty disappointed. Even the finishers are all right, I guess. I mean, they can hit pretty hard, but I just find them to be a slower weapon. Obviously, two-hand are even slower, and I'm putting it on a Terror Knight, so we're making the Terror Knight even slower than it already is. But I had it on Canopus too, and I felt like he did better once I swapped him off him. I don't know. Once he got off axes, he seemed to be more effective for me. But that could just be a confirmation bias. You know how that kind of stuff goes. But I'm just not a fan. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe some of you guys that love axes can explain to me why axes are so good. The high RT cost, yeah, they can hit hard. And I don't think there's a lot of really good ones to get. A lot of good axes that are available. I mean, I don't have every axe in the game, obviously, you know, so that could be a thing, but I definitely just am not a fan. I'm just not a fan of them. And the number one weapon I'm not a fan of, now, this is kind of a contradiction, kind of a silly thing, so you're going to have to bear with me here. Maybe you guys will understand. But if you watch my previous video, I really like spears. I'm a big spear guy. I like the range. I like the 2 to 3 range. I like the distance, you know, that you get with them. They hit kind of hard. They got some cool. You got cool weapon choices. And not only if something's in the way when you do your spear, you can hit multiple enemies. You can hit 2 or 3 enemies at once. I don't think you can hit 3. I think it's only 2. But you can hit 2 enemies at once, which is really nice. And you can also hit your own teammates. But the weapon that I just hate the most, and I guess I just can't find a unit that uses it, and that is whips. I first unlocked whips on my Beast Tamer way back in the beginning of the game, and I thought they'd be really cool, and I was using the first couple whips you got, and I was not impressed with any of them. All these whips I have here, I think these are all the ones you get. I think they're upgraded too. These are all the ones that you see all the way up through Chapter 4. There's not really a lot of whips in the game, which is also a thing that kind of turns me off from them. But, you know, they got the 1 to 2 range, which is nice. You know, they're just like a spear, but I don't know why I don't like them. I looked at the finishers and stuff, and they don't really seem that amazing. If I had Ozma on my team, I would give her a whip because she gets a unique finisher for the whip. That'd probably be my only class or character that would use a whip. But whips are just my least favorite weapon. They are the least favorite. They are the one I care the least for, and I don't even use them. So let me know if I'm missing something on whips, if there's something amazing. Those of you that love whips, please enlighten me. Tell me the way of the whip. You know, let me know what I'm doing wrong. But like I said, let me know how you guys feel. What do you think? What are your least favorite weapons? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, later, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.